everybody. Chris Graham here with Dale Carnegie Training in Baton Rouge, and this is Drew Langhart with Fitnotix. And we've just been sitting here talking, and I've heard his amazing story actually, and I'm trying to figure out how to wrap this all up in an important message that's only going to take us 15 minutes or less to talk about, because that's the time frame I want the video to be in. But his journey has been really amazing and fascinating, and it's very familiar. It's a very familiar story because I've been reading books like Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, and you talk to some people who say things like you are the average of the 3 people you spend the most time with, and he's just been telling me basically this story of how first he just ran into a personal trainer.
Yeah, he was a college athlete and personal trainer, knowledge, and all that stuff.
Just wanted to team up with you to try to make something happen.
Right, he wanted. He had an awesome philosophy behind the way to teach people how to change their lives based on fitness, and a lifestyle change based off of living healthy and the whole fitness aspect of things.
So fast forwarding, he came up with a few ideas, but you weren't really satisfied. You wanted something better.
Yeah, the philosophy was great, and that's what made me stick around and continue conversation. But once we brought up the fact that it needs to be a product, kind of brought in the whole technology side of everything, and I brought it to him and said, look, we just need to have some form of web and mobile app, and so we talked to that point and made that happen.
So the idea of the app, just to capture the fullness of it, because it's not just, hey, here's another app. The app that he's described to me here is a very involved process and philosophy, and it gets involved in a person's life. So kind of tell me about that.
So the philosophy behind things is, in order to change the way you live, the way you do things, your lifestyle, working out and living healthy is so involved in your day-to-day life that it's not just something that you learn how to do and you go do it. Like, it's not like a sport or something. You practice and practice and practice, you get it right, and you learn how to get better at it. But living healthy is living, it's a lifestyle. So with that comes building.
So a difference between fitness and a sport and a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, fitness can be a sport too, but if most people aren't doing fitness as a sport, they're doing it so that they can live healthy. They're doing it so that a lot of times they want to look better, they want to feel better, they want more energy.
Right.
So, if you look at the definition of a lifestyle, it's the way people live based off of their attitudes, habits, and values. Attitudes,
habits, and values.
So we took that philosophy of attitudes, habits, and value and built our product based off of that. And it's also the same way we built our company, same philosophy. But our app is focused on teaching people. We have the tools of what to eat. We have meals, cooking videos, the workouts, backup plans, all that in there. But all that is based off of the fact that the main goal is to teach people how to have the right attitude going into this, how to build their habits, and then what's the main value of life.
So something I want to make note of right now is the most watched TED Talk. Are you familiar with TED Talks?
Yep.
The world's most watched TED Talk is Simon Sinek talking about the golden circles. And what you're hearing Drew talk about is at the start, he was talking about the philosophy. So go search for Simon Sinek's golden circle concept, and you will see that what he did was he started to build this product at the center, at the why. And it even just listening to it, it goes deeper into your brain. It resonates with people more. That depth of why, and not just a product. It's a reason, a purpose. So
I'm actually glad you brought that up. Once you watch the video, it explains the concept in a really, really good way. It's like 8 minutes or something like that. Yeah. So definitely watch it. But if you have time, it's worth actually buying the book.
Yeah.
The book is called Start With Why.
Start With Why.
And easy read, entertaining actually, and it really goes deeper into this. But I actually read that after we kind of started this whole philosophy thing, and I saw the TED Talk thing, and I said, this actually makes sense of kind of the way we're doing things. Let me go ahead and read this. So, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
So basically, it's like Like there's all these, obviously, so way too many people are failing in the area of fitness. Something's got to be wrong. So it sounds like you're just starting at the beginning with, this is why people aren't getting it right. This is why it's not working.
Right.
So we need to make a product, and you've chosen an app. See, go to the Golden Circle video. He started with the why is like something's wrong. We gotta fix the way people are approaching fitness. With this, that we have to change our philosophy. So that's the why. And you go all the way to the outer circle. It's the what. The what is an app.
Right.
You just picked an app because you think it would work. But he didn't start with let's figure out a great app that's gonna really help people stay in fit, because that's important that people stay fit. So we started with the importance of the philosophy of the why, and he's gone outward to the app. And you were literally telling me you were thinking of, well, what avenue should we take? It should probably be a product. Well, let's do an app because an app's probably going to work. So it was the philosophy first, and then he figured out the method to drive it.
And a really good tip on a big thing of why we come to the conclusion that app will work is, you look at the market and it says that, it shows that technology and mobile apps and everything is going that direction. Mm-hmm. So it was a really clear choice.
Right.
But exactly, the what of our why is how are we going to make it happen was the concept that we put into it.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
exactly.
So let's see. Where did we get to in the story? So you start to figure out this vision of what it should be, and you start to talk to some developers. And at first, the price is too reasonable, right?
Too reasonable, yeah.
The price is too reasonable. And what the problem was, the more he communicated the fullness of this app and what they're really trying to accomplish, the bigger the price tag got. So what was happening next?
So the price tag got bigger, but I don't think it was big enough, because when we started adding bigger, there was more of an unclear. We could feel the person and the people we were talking to were really unclear on what we were trying to say. So I think with that, they were adding more on the price. But it's really important to find the right people and the right team to put in place, because you don't want to just jump at the first person, and especially a lot of people you might know somebody who's developing software, but they really qualified. Oh, great! They're gonna give you an 80% discount. Well, that's gonna help, but are they qualified? Yeah. Are they qualified?
It could be the reason they're giving you such a big discount is because they desperately need business. And,
I wouldn't say it was the case in this person. This person is extremely qualified, but it was in a different market.
Okay, so I retract that.
Yes, it wasn't that he couldn't do a project this big. It was just the way that when you look at the types of software there are, there's a million different kinds.
Right.
And the kind that he was an expert on was not what we were looking for.
Okay, so you needed somebody who could deliver, who could match your vision.
Right. They had to fit into the type of product, because technology is, it used to be like, oh, it's tech stuff, but now it's like,
So yeah, we're still at the importance of the vision, and you chose not to relent on the size of the vision. You didn't take. If you had compromised the integrity of the vision, then you probably would have built something that was just nowhere near what you wanted.
Right, and we made it a purpose to always stick to the fact that we're focusing on the lifestyle, which was our why, and it's back to the center of that circle. It's a great way to illustrate that. But if it didn't fall into that original vision, it didn't fit in. It wasn't going to work. We had to find a different option to stay with our vision.
Okay, so it's interesting how you finally found the right person to do it, and it was. I don't know if we have time to go into the whole story. But golly, first you managed to find someone on AngelList.
Yep.
AngelList.com, is that what it is?
Yeah, I think they actually changed it. It's now Angel.co.
Angel.co. So he managed to find someone with incredible credentials, and he was willing to do it for equity.
Right.
And
which means we're not paying him anything, and he's not bringing any money to the table.
Right. But when the payout comes, he's going to expect to get paid.
Right.
Okay, so then it was a matter of raising a certain amount of money. And you went to two different family members. One said, I'll pay half, and then the other one said, I'll pay the rest.
Right.
But it wasn't because you went asking for the money. It was because they wanted to know how's it going.
Yeah, so we found a developer, made him an offer. and the story is really long, so we won't get into that. But we needed to raise a lot of money. But bringing on a developer was something that we can offer equity instead of the money, which was going to save us the biggest cost there. And it was bringing in the right team, and also brought in someone who was going to be invested in the company with time, more than just someone we're just hiring. Which so we're glad we went that route. If we didn't stick to our vision, we would have gone with the first few options and not actually found this option that was a better concept. So we just stuck with it. But yeah. So someone just asked, "How's the product doing?" And I was like, "We made an offer to someone today. We actually only have to raise a fraction of what we originally thought." And they said, "Great, how much?" I told them, and they said, "Here, oh great, I'll give you half." So then I called a family member and said, "You're never going to believe what just happened with our company that we've been trying to develop." And they said, "What?" I told them about finding our developer, and I told them about that happened, and they said, "Oh, okay, well, I'll just give you that." So I raised all the money we needed in 30 minutes, literally.
So then, so what is the gentleman's name of your developer?
Ken.
Ken. So Ken from New York, lives in New York. You fly him down here, you wine him and dine him at Sullivan's in a big way. He told me the rest of the story there. And basically, he signed after this and that and the other.
Yeah.
And he's been working on it ever since.
Yeah, and the reason he signed was we stuck to our vision. That brought us into bringing in, having a clear vision in the beginning gave us a roadmap that we had to take. We knew of all the different pieces that had to be put together in this puzzle. We had all of those pieces put together except Ken. So Ken got offers from 10 other people, and seeing how ready we were, and that the only thing we needed was him, and he didn't have to jump in and help other people build the rest of the puzzle. That's what made it sound.
Okay, now we got only 3 minutes left to get our 15-minute mark, so I just want to cut to the chase here.
Okay.
So, what the message that we're trying to convey here, all throughout this journey, and if you knew more of the details of his story, you'd know what I mean, but all throughout Drew's journey here, he's been operating at a business level that a lot of small business owners don't operate at. And it's nothing against those small business owners. It's about who Drew has been interacting with for the past 6 years. Right, Drew here is 26, just turned 26, and he is obviously a very savvy, business-minded individual. And the only way that he can claim the success that he's claiming is because he has exposed himself to people who operate in the way that he sees himself operating in. You are the average of the 3 people that you spend the most time with. So whoever you are and whatever your vision is, if you're a small business, you probably had a more ambitious vision than maybe it is right now. Maybe you lost some of your motivation or whatever. Maybe you are still motivated. But if you think you can figure it out by yourself, then you're wrong. You need to expose yourself to people and spend time with people, not just reading their books. You need to spend time with people who have done what you want to do in order to be able to accomplish it. And I would think that that is the whole message of this whole story that I've just heard about Drew. And he's also told me the importance of attitude. Do you want to finish up the importance of attitude?
Yes. Having the attitude in the beginning, which was actually 8 years ago, from the time I graduated high school, it gave me the attitude and the values are really what. I knew exactly where I wanted to go. I knew the type of people that I wanted to be like and what I wanted to do. So, you go into college, a lot of your peers are, it's college, it's party, it's have fun. My concept was cut the losses, and find the people to actually influence me the right way.
Right. Well, that's it. We're just running out of time. That's the short and sweet, simple version of the message there. So, hope you enjoy it. You're going to hear more from Drew. Ask him questions. Find out about his app. It's called Fitnotix. We'll put a link to the bottom of the page so you can find out more about it. It's really amazing stuff.
You can connect me to LinkedIn.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. See y'all later.